Welcome back to another day on the track in my E30. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the pros and cons of using a lap timer at an HPDE event. For those of you that don't know, HPDE stands for High Performance Driver Education. So the whole point of an event like this is to learn. It's to learn how to drive faster, learn how to drive safely, learn how to drive in traffic, learn how to get the most out of your car, just to learn. And with that in mind, something like a lap timer could be an invaluable tool teaching you how to improve your laps around the track. Here you can see I'm using an AIM SOLO2, which gives you real-time feedback as to your laps. It uses GPS to see where you are on the track, and for whatever reason it was registering the start-finish as somewhere on the back straight. So back there it started the lap, and here you can see that I'm already about 0.36 seconds faster than my last fastest lap. And the way that it works is it tells you constantly as you drive if you're going faster or slower than your best times. You can hardly see it there, but it has some LEDs on the sides that kind of indicate whether you're up or down from your fastest lap. So that is super helpful in gauging as you go through each turn if you're gaining time on your fast laps or losing time. It's a great way to improve by looking at each turn and seeing how much you're gaining or losing relative to what you had a moment ago. The difficulty here is, of course, that you're looking over at this number and you're doing mental math. You're doing these calculations of, am I going faster? You have to remember in your head what the time was, and so you're constantly just focusing on this thing, which I guess leads me to the initial downside of using a lap timer on track, which is to say that it can be a little distracting. It can take away from your mental space that you should be using to focus on your driving, your gear changes, you're hitting your apexes, and the weight transitions, etc. So what we're watching now actually is my first session solo without the instructor for this weekend, which was really nice because in a lightweight, low-powered car like an E30, having an extra 185, 200 pounds of passenger makes a big difference in terms of how the car handles, how hard it can brake, and even in acceleration. So it's nice to have that lack of ballast in the car. And you can see I'm about 1.7 seconds faster than my fastest lap, which gets me to a lap time of 2:25.66. So not a terribly fast lap time in the grand scheme of VIR lap times, but it was a pretty good time for me for that day, the equipment that I was running and my skill set, whatever. So felt good about it. And so here, I guess throughout the course of this next lap is a demonstration of why a lap timer that gives you live feedback can be a dangerous thing. Because throughout this entire lap, I'm now watching this lap timer. Because I knew I did a fast lap, and here I am already almost a half a second up from the previous fast lap. So now I'm thinking to myself, wow, I can really push this. I get a really fast time. I can get down to a 224 or something. And that's a dangerous thing because now I'm chasing a lap time rather than focusing on my technique. Thinking about, I should be thinking about what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong, how can I make the car do this, or am I hitting my apex? But instead all I'm doing is watching these numbers. Granted, I'm watching where I'm going, paying attention to what I'm doing, but I'm paying an awful lot of attention to if that number is going up or down. I wanted it to go up, and here I could see it. I was getting through here a little faster, I think. And it's great feedback in the moment if you're at that level. But in talking to someone after the fact, one of the things they said was they almost wish they had somebody with all this data off track so that they could just sort of feed them numbers at key moments instead of having it in front of you all the time. And then to be able to analyze the data after the fact is invaluable. But track data analysis is a whole different skill altogether. And so here you can see one of the key problem with a lap timer, and that I was paying too much attention to the lap timer and not enough attention to my braking zone, and I missed it, or I was late on it and it sent me off track. So course worker gave me the thumbs up and waved me on track. But yeah, that puts a little scare into you, and definitely makes you think about what you're doing. So I pulled it into the pits and made sure everything was good. So what I'm saying is, focus on the driving, focus on the technique. Don't focus on the data in front of you. Save that for analysis after the fact, and the speed will come. And with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.